What is going on, good people? Welcome into your season finale of the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, and I mean always, an instant classic. It feels like forever since I said that. I don't think I've said that since the first episode. I really don't. I feel like I said it the first episode and I was so excited. Now I'm saying on the last episode of the first season and I'm really excited. Do I know when season two's coming? No. Ask Casey. He the one that made the executive decision to make this the season finale. So the season two probably be like next week.
It's coming out, about the same time that season 2 of Who Do You Sign comes out.
Coming out. But anyway, I mean, he have all the graphics made and stuff though.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
But anyway, we're gonna move on to our first segment of this show. Real quick before we kind of get into it, this will be a little bit different than your normal Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast show. Usually we would review the whole week and all the shows within it. I feel like, and this is kind of the reason why, as much as I think Sunday's the best day for me to do it right now, I don't think Sunday's a good day to do it.
Even though obviously we didn't watch anything this week. That's not the reason.
But still, like I still feel like it's one of those weird things where like it's Sunday, not right now, but like hypothetically speaking, usually it would be Sunday and Raw's like the next day. So why would I care about Raw from last week? It's kind of weird. Like it's a weird concept that I have in my mind that probably doesn't make any sense to anybody else. But anyway, it's just one of those things that comes in my mind where I'm like, do they really care about Monday Night Raw from last week at all at this point? Maybe not. But I do like, talking about everything within the week. It's just sometimes hard to even watch everything throughout the week, to be honest. But we are going to make this a TLC and Wrestle Circus kind of inspired show, at least when it comes to the top fives. More specifically, it's kind of more of the basis of this show, just because we haven't had a chance to watch everything. And we know we watched TLC when we watched the Wrestle Circus show. Hope you guys watched the Wrestle Circus show. It's pretty cool on Twitch. I like the way they do that, by the way. I like that they have like an option for you to watch Wrestle Circus on Twitch. It's pretty cool. Every once in a while, they don't do it all the time, but every once in a while they'll say, "Hey, we're having a show. Come watch it," and you go watch it, and it's like 4 hours long or 5 hours long or something. So. But anyway,
it won't. It was like 2 hours.
It was like 2 hours. Was it really? No, the first like half was 2 hours. Like it took an intermission at 2 hours. I remember it because I was like, this show is really short. Because I remember the last one was like 3 years. But anyway, moving on to our news and rumors. I don't think Casey knows any of the news and rumors I picked out. But anyway, this will be interesting. I'm going to start out with a little bit of it's a news and rumor from last week. From kind of like pre-TLC, but it still has an effect on WWE right now. So, obviously, we found out that, Kurt Angle would be replacing Roman Reigns and AJ Styles would be replacing Bray Wyatt in their respective matches because of this illness or viral infection that's going around in WWE. So, I guess I had to kind of pose the question to Casey, to everybody watching. How do we feel like this will affect WWE from that rumor and from this, which really is more of a fact at this point? This viral infection that's going around, how will it affect WWE? I think we all hope that it doesn't spread too much. Like, I mean, 2 guys got it, and you kind of wonder how they got it. I hope they put out some more details about it, or somebody puts out some more details about it. But I think that's the biggest question that I have right now is like, how will this affect WWE? Will it affect them kind of in the long term as far as the next month or so? Or will it be something that's kind of short term that just these 2 guys happen to get? Casey, any thoughts on kind of this viral infection that's going around WWE right now?
Everybody be dying. Really? But I'm going to predict that it's going to have a positive outcome for TLC. I think it's going to make 2 really good matches for TLC. I'm predicting that right now. I bet you I'm right. I bet you I'm right. Um, also, it wasn't just two guys. It won't. It was Roman. It was Bray. It was JoJo, and it was Bo Dallas. I mean, obviously, Bo Dallas wasn't, but he is affected by it. So, and JoJo. So
I now understand the JoJo and Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas because they all kind of together. Anyway, sorry, it was there. I had to say. Anyway, so that makes sense though. It makes sense that besides Roman, because I don't know how much Roman hangs out with Bray. Like, to be honest, like in character, they don't really like but you don't think about it always in like I feel like you always think about these guys in character, and you're like, you know what? I don't see Roman hanging out with Bray. Just don't. Sister Abigail, I don't see it. But maybe that's what it was. That was the viral infection. Was the Sister Abigail? That's what it was. Let's be honest. That's why his face turned like that. But moving on to we have Impact Wrestling officially terminates their relationship with GFW and Jeff Jarrett. I think this has been a rumor for a while. This is going to happen, and now it's kind of an official thing. I guess my question is, what does this mean? Because Impact once again committed to a kind of rebirth, a revamp to GFW because Jeff Jarrett came in, which I thought was stupid at the time, and now I'm kind of not wrong. Like, I feel like I was kind of harsh on them a little bit for changing the name to GFW and throwing away all of their history to well, more so changing it to Impact Wrestling and then changing it to GFW. I was kind of I was very hard on them, more so about the GFW part as well. But now I'm kind of right because Jeff Jarrett left, so now they got to go back to Impact Wrestling, which really isn't as difficult as it's going to seem. I think the biggest change it's going to make is with the belts, just because are they going to go back to the the TNA World Title / Impact World Title? Because they got the Global Championship as kind of the main championship now. You got the GFW Tag Team titles are kind of the main tag team titles. You kind of got a new GFW X Division Championship, but they don't really call it that. So it's kind of one of those situations where now they may have to go backwards. I think this kind of revamp type thing is going to be a little easier because they've been calling it Impact Wrestling anyway. They haven't really put as much of an emphasis on it being GFW. So I'm kind of curious about that, kind of what's going to happen with that. But Casey, any thoughts on Impact Wrestling officially terminating their relationship with GFW and Jeff Jarrett?
I didn't even know about this officially until you just said it. I hadn't seen the news report, but this sucks for Impact.
Yeah.
Think about it, because not only, do they have to rebrand again, which, like you said, isn't that hard to just go back to Impact, but you have to think about other things too, like the changing of the belts again. They're going to have to get new belts, which aren't cheap. Even for a big company, they're not cheap. If you also think about, for the most part, the past, couple months, they've been using a lot of specifically GFW talent that are all storylines. So to take all of them out, what is Impact left with right now? I don't even know who they have officially signed that isn't in GFW, or if there's
I think another one, and I don't know, and I could be wrong about this one, but like some of the partnerships that they have,
yeah,
because of GFW, because of Jeff Jarrett, that's another thing you got to think about too. Now I know they were working with some promotions before Jeff Jarrett came back, but I think Jeff Jarrett is a big reason of why they work with the promotions they do, though, because he was like that before too when he was first there.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure they'll work together, or I'm sure it'll still be together at least till Bound for Glory, just because it's so close now. You can't. I mean, you can rewrite storylines, but in 2 weeks, you know, people aren't going to care about rewritten storylines. You know, they care about what's been built up and kind of what's been invested. So I would,
especially for your biggest pay-per-view of the year.
yeah, I would hope that they, you know, work together at least until obviously they're pre-recorded episodes, but work together to Bound for Glory, and then after that, you know, do whatever you got to do. But it just sucks. Like Impact can never get a break, and it. I'm sure everyone. Oh, it's going out of business. Oh, they going out of business. I, I don't know anymore. Like, what's honestly, we should just do a new segment. You know, what's next for GF or for Impact? Just predicting, you know, what's gonna go wrong next, because something always goes wrong. Like every time they, I don't know.
Yeah, you start to feel bad for him a little bit because it just doesn't make sense. You know, how could one company have like I guess such bad luck? I don't know. It's kind of weird, but anyway. Um, moving on to our next news and rumor, which is I'm gonna go with this one and then I'll go with my last one because I'm trying to find that tweet for my last one. Jake Crist's injury and how that affects TNA. OVE, Ohio versus Everything, are the current tag team champions, barring any spoilers, because I don't read spoilers. So I don't know if maybe they have relinquished the titles or not. It's possible. But Jake Crist I should say, is injured right now. His brother wrestled against Tessa Blanchard at, which we'll talk about a little bit later as well. And he mentioned that his brother was injured, and that's why he couldn't wrestle with his brother tonight. So we don't know if it's a minor injury, if it's a, you know, if it's something that's crazy or what. We don't really know right now. So, Casey, thoughts on the potential injury that we have with Jake Crist?
It definitely sucks. It and again, it goes back to the terrible luck that Impact has. This has happened multiple times with the tag team titles, if you remember. Happened with Jeff Hardy. Happened with the Wolves. Now it's happening with OVE. Like they can't catch a break. And it sucks for OVE as well. I mean, the one thing I like about Jake Crist and Dave Crist is, yeah, they're a tag team, but they do a lot of singles wrestling too. Unlike a lot of tag teams who primarily tag together, especially in like WWE and bigger promotions, a lot of the tag teams specifically just do tag team matches. They don't really do singles matches, which sucks. I feel like a lot of more tag teams should do singles matches too. But, you know, they do a lot of singles matches. So I wouldn't see an issue with like Dave Crist, obviously, you know, having a singles, you know, run while Jake kind of, you know, heals up. It kind of sucks that it happened when they were in Tijuana. I don't know if it was in the match that they showed on Impact, but he did say it was a match in Tijuana that I think he said he broke his foot, which sucks. But again, you know, I think Wrestle Circus did a really good job rebooking the show, because originally it was supposed to be him and Jake going for the big top tag team championships in Wrestle Circus. Unfortunately, that couldn't happen, so they, you know, rebooked it to have him go against Tessa Blanchard, which I thought was a really good match. We'll get to that in a little bit, but you know, hopefully he, you know, Jake comes back quick, and you know, but then again, will they come back to Impact? I don't know, because I don't know if they were technically working for GFW or if they were working for Impact. That's one of the things that's weird too. It's like the guys who were signed between, or that came into Impact between the time that they started the, you know, partnership with GFW and now work for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's weird. But
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Alrighty, moving on to our last news and rumor, which is Daniel Bryan teasing a WWE in-ring return. I'm getting all my news and rumors from WrestlingRumors.net. If you guys don't know, if they actually have an app, and that's usually where I get my news and rumors from. But Daniel Bryan put out a tweet that says, "quote There was a time when WWE wouldn't let at real Kurt Angle compete. Tonight he won a pay-per-view main event in a TLC match with the clapping emojis hashtag. So you're saying there's a chance." So Daniel Bryan teasing an in-ring return, kind of saying WWE saying something and then letting somebody still do something that they said would never really happen again or whatever. Interesting. I still don't know if Daniel Bryan's ever going to return. I would love for him to, and I know he kind of wants to, but I guess we'll see. You know, I guess we'll see where that's going to go. I guess we'll see if this means he will be potentially returning, because I know they are doing a lot with him and Sami Zayn and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens right now. So yeah, it's always possible. KC, thoughts on the Daniel Bryan teasing in-ring return?
I don't know. I think this isn't the first time that Daniel Bryan has teased a return. He's done it a couple times on Twitter before. So I'm personally not going to hold my breath because I'll die. I don't think it'll happen. I think the only reason that Kurt Angle came back, especially this soon for a match, I mean, is for one, I mean, yes, Kurt Angle has neck issues too, but he's wrestled a lot more after his injury. You know, his injury happened a long time ago. His major injury happened a long time ago. He's had other injuries here and there throughout his career. But like we've said, he's been wrestling for the past, well, in WWE, he hasn't been wrestling for the past 11 years, but he has been wrestling. And I think the only reason he came back right now so soon, I think he obviously was probably going to return at WrestleMania for a match, I think. But I think the only reason he came back so quickly now is because of the issues with Roman Reigns and the illness. And I think in Vince's eyes, not in the fans' eyes, obviously, but I think in Vince's eyes, Kurt Angle is the bigger draw and the bigger star than Daniel Bryan. A lot of people wanted it to be, somehow Daniel Bryan to come back and would have rather had Daniel Bryan wrestle at TLC. I still just don't think he'll come back in WWE. I do think when his contract is up with WWE, he'll probably wrestle in the Indies, whether Ring of Honor or whatever. But I don't think they'll ever clear him in WWE again. I just don't think it'll happen. But yeah, I mean, and he has, teased when his contract, comes up, wrestling in Japan and Ring of Honor and whatever. So I think we have a better luck of him wrestling in, Ring of Honor or Japan than we do of him wrestling in WWE again, which sucks, but
yeah, I definitely agree. It definitely sucks that we might not get to see Daniel Bryan in the ring again. But let's move on to our top 5 instant classic moments of the week.
I mean, the botches be first and the funny moments be first, just man.
That's true. Well, that is true. I gotta add it back in though, because I forgot we had it. Oh God, we had it, but
we had the technical difficulties. We got the difficulties.
Now, y'all ain't see that. Y'all ain't see that.
I mean, if you watch it on Facebook Live, y'all didn't see that. But if you watch it on YouTube, you saw that.
Shut.
Top 5. We're just gonna say funny moments because we didn't put any botches really in this, but and we only have 3, so top 5 minus 2 funny moments of the week. We got Lance Hoyt and Jeff Cobb basically toying with and beating up on MJF at the Wrestle Circus show. I believe this was the opening match on the card. I thought it was really funny. Them kind of, toying with him and just working together was pretty funny. DJ?
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was funny too. I was cracking up. I don't know. Like I just thought it was funny. Like I was watching it and I was like, what is happening right now? Uh, but it was definitely funny, and I think he got a big pop for that. So it's kind of cool. It was kind of one of those moments where like you're not taking stuff too seriously, you're just kind of enjoying it and having a good time with it.
Yeah. Then we got Johnny Mundo just in the nick of time, stopping Taya Valkyrie from touching Joey Ryan's dong. This was one of the funnier moments when she almost went to touch his dong, and we all know what happens when you do that. You get the eupornplex. I thought it was funny the way he kind of sold it and kind of grabbed her away. It was pretty funny. DJ?
Yeah, I definitely thought it was funny too. I watched the video on Instagram, and I was cracking up because we all know Joey Ryan, and I just thought it was funny. She was just gonna go on in there. She was just gonna take care of business, I guess.
When you got to do it, you got to do it. And then our final funny moment of the week again was at the Wrestle Circus show. I'm sure there were funny moments at TLC. I just can't think of them right now.
Like Jason Jordan throwing produce.
Yeah, funny. No. We got Lance Hoyt on commentary. That's one thing I love about Wrestle Circus shows, watching them. Lance Hoyt on commentary is always funny. He's just a funny guy. I enjoy him on commentary. DJ?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I thought it was funny. I think he's just a funny fella. We also got one more.
Oh, we do. Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
You remember?
That one. You want to refresh my memory? Just that one.
Yes. Because so you forgot. What you saying? You forgot.
I ain't saying you. I forgot. I'm just giving you a chance to give one.
You forgot.
I ain't forgot.
But when Kurt Angle came out with the Shield, and he had the big smile on his face, the meme community, let's just call him that, destroyed him. It was hilarious. There was a lot of funny ones on there. There was a lot of funny ones on there. But if you look on the internet, you'll see them. It was hilarious. I wish I could pull one up quickly, but I really can't as quick as I want to. But anyway,
when you hang out with the guys.
But anyway, I just thought the memes were pretty funny. There was a lot of funny ones. I think we live in like the world of memes right now. Anyway, like I think memes are the in thing now. So, but anyway.
Yeah. Yo, you mean those memes? Yeah, the memes.
Yeah, the meme. Yeah, them things. But anyway, shall we move on? Are you gonna take? Well, I guess I'm gonna take you.
I
I
mean,
guess I'm taking it, right?
I thought I was taking the top 5.
Or, yeah, you are. That's right. That's right. That's true. I'm taking the other thing. Okay. Anyway,
I mean, we planned the show before the show, and then he still forgets what we doing. You know.
I didn't write your name beside it. That's what happened.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Anyway, top 5 instant classic moments of the week. A lot of these are going to be matches. That's what we just figured. But anyway, our first instant classic match of the week. See what I did there? Moments match. They start with an M. Yeah. We got Team Abs and Ass, Johnny Mundo and Taya Valkyrie versus the world's cutest tag team. I definitely thought this was a really good tag team match. I love intergender tag team matches, especially actual intergender tag team matches where, you know, guys can wrestle the girls and girls can wrestle the guys. You don't have to.
Is that like a mixed tag match?
Nah.
Is that like one of them mixed tags?
Nah, this ain't WWE. This ain't the double E DJ.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I thought it was a good match. Like I like that they kind of that they let the women and the men be on the same level. You know, that's one of the things that I've always liked about it. They don't treat the women like they're just, you know, you're just women. You know, you don't know how to wrestle. Like they don't treat them like they're lower than the men, or like they're not as good as the men, or like they can't be competitive with the men. That's what I like about it.
Yeah. Then we have Brian Cage versus Shane Strickland for the Wrestle Circus Championship. It's definitely a really good match. This was a kind of continued storyline from actually, I think, the last Wrestle Circus show that we reviewed, or I reviewed. I don't remember if DJ was on that. When Shane Strickland, cashed in his briefcase, because, you know, they get a briefcase too, to get in the world title match and won the title, pinning. I forgot who the third guy was in that match. But this was basically Brian Cage's kind of rematch because he didn't get pinned in that match. So, you know, he feels like he deserved a rematch to get his title back. Definitely a really good match. I liked it. I love Shane Strickland. Definitely like Brian Cage too. Really good match. Brian Cage did win and won the title, which I was kind of sad that Shane lost the title. But definitely a good match, DJ.
Yeah, I agree. It was a really good match. I actually wanted to make sure I finished it before I know it's the last match, but I wanted to make sure I finished it before I even turned the show off. Because I was gonna go watch something else, but I wanted to make sure I'll finish this match because I like Cage, and Strickland was pretty good too. I was actually surprised Brian Cage won. To be honest, I was just not expecting it. I was just not expecting Strickland to lose since he came in with the title, but it was a good match. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Then we have AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. Still, to me, match of the night from TLC. You know, I know some people were complaining that, you know, it should have been a bigger show that they, you know, face each other. But I'm sure they will have some sort of match at Survivor Series, whether it's a one-on-one rematch or they could do a, you know, traditional Survivor Series match where maybe, you know, AJ is a captain of one team, Finn is a captain of another. I think that would be pretty cool too. And then you could have, you know, Shinsuke be, you know, on AJ's team, but you can have a little bit of kind of friendly rivalry between them because obviously everyone wants AJ versus Shinsuke too, in WWE. So, I mean, you could do a bunch of different things, I think, with this at Survivor Series. But DJ?
Yeah, and for the people who are like, oh, they should have did it at Mania. Well, they didn't really want to do it now. Like they were just kind of forced to. I mean, yeah, they could have threw Finn in with some sort of rando. Like I think booking by WWE, and I don't know who made the decision on it or who said that this was the match they should have went with. But kudos to whoever that is. It was probably Vince. As much as people want to say it probably wasn't, it was probably Vince. Um, but I think like kudos to whoever made this match because they knew if they were gonna have to make a match on the fly, two matches basically, kind of on the fly, and take two main guys out right now. That are really like invested in those feuds. They had to put people in it that people are going to be interested in watching, and maybe even get other people to watch. Like get more people to watch just because those guys were in that match. And I think having AJ Styles versus Finn Balor, even though it was just TLC, which I think we kind of consider as a filler pay-per-view, I think they had to have something to make you still want to watch it. I mean, I think, don't get me wrong, I don't know how many people were really excited for Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor. Um, but like those of us who actually were, like I was actually excited for the match because I like Bray Wyatt. But like those of us who actually were, and he gets taken out of the match. Well, what if that was the only match I was looking forward to? Now they're trying to make sure that we all care about every single match that's in here, and the same thing with Kurt Angle coming in as well, which I'll talk a little bit about that later. I don't want to get too much into it because I have it, kind of documented in another segment, I guess.
I think also, ironically, the illness breakout helped them a lot because I think if it was just like Bray that was taken out because of illness, or if it was just Roman Reigns taken out, I think they would have either just scrapped one of those matches or put a bad replacement in there. But I think because it was both of them, WWE felt, okay, instead of we got to make this worth it. I think so. I think having them both out was a benefit to the fans anyway, to get a good match, two good matches.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next one we got is the Jimmy Jacobs, Sami Callihan segment. Jimmy Jacobs was a surprise, had his surprise debut on Wrestle Circus, which was pretty cool. After Sami Callihan's match, I was definitely excited. He kind of talked about, I forgot what he said in his promo, but basically he kind of challenged Sami Callihan to a future match. Now, I don't know, and I talked to Amy the other night watching this too. I don't know if, because Jimmy Jacobs was a writer and kind of producer in WWE, I don't know if he still would have the 90 days no compete clause, or if because he was fired that would be void. I don't know if it's just in-ring talent that has that 90-day no compete clause, or if he can wrestle soon. But I think either way, when it comes down to it, Jimmy Jacobs versus Sami Callihan will be a really good match. I'm definitely excited for it. I'm excited to see Jimmy Jacobs kind of wrestle again on the indies. But DJ?
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen Jimmy Jacobs wrestle. I liked him in the decade in Ring of Honor. I thought it was, I liked him as a part of that faction from a promo standpoint and in the ring. I was definitely surprised when I saw him come out there. I was just surprised just because I don't think well, unless you read up on rumors or anything, like I don't think you were necessarily expecting it. I like his promo he cut, kind of talking about WWE and kind of being, behind the suit and tie and not really being able to do what he loves to do and what he does best. But he did it for 2 years, so it had to be something he was liking anyway. But I like him, and I don't know if anyone, it was Casey that brought this to my attention, but I liked because a lot of people don't see the aftermath on Twitter. But I like him basically saying that he had no hard feelings towards WWE, and basically making it at least seem like it was more of that's what the fans wanted to hear, type of a thing. And I feel like you don't always get that. You always get these people who are bitter, and that's what he said. He said he wasn't bitter. You always get these people who are bitter at WWE for whatever the way they were used or whatever. But you never get someone saying I'm not necessarily bitter about it. It was just it was in the moment or whatever. So I definitely liked it. I thought that was a good touch you put on the kind of after the promo.
Yeah, I was gonna add something somewhere in there, and I forgot what it was. Maybe I'll think of it anyway. And then, I mean, you kept saying words, and I forgot my thought because you were saying words, and you kept saying them, and I was like, yeah. Anyway, and then we have Tessa Blanchard versus Dave Crist. I thought this match was great. I think this proves that intergender matches work. Women can put on awesome matches with men. And Tessa did an amazing match with Dave Crist, I thought. Even after the match, he commended her for being, one of the best professional wrestlers. He said, not women, not, girl, whatever. She was one of the best professional wrestlers in the world. And, he said, she beat the dog crap out of him. And I thought it was great. It was definitely a cool moment. I think anytime you have an awesome match and then, they show respect to each other after it, it makes it that much better of a match to me. But DJ?
Yeah, I definitely like this too. I thought the match was really good. I think they worked well together. I like them kind of going out outside, even though the cameraman didn't really he didn't really go with them. But I thought that was pretty funny, and I enjoyed it for what the match was. I really liked it, and that's not an indictment on the match. I was just saying I just really liked it. Um, I I like you said. I like the kind of the I like the promo afterwards, I guess you could say. Um, like you said, I like the promo afterwards. I think when they do give credit, the Indies is a little bit different from WWE and even TNA to a certain degree, where there's no filter. There's no you can say stuff like this and be real like this without anybody really judging you for it. So I like that. I like that he was able to be real about her being just as good as she is, because she is really good. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all every aspect of it.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I like too. Like in WWE, you can't. It's all about character and it's all about storyline. You can't break character and just talk about your opponent. Where in the Indies, yeah, you have the storylines and the characters, but you have those moments where after the match they will break character or whatever and just commend their opponent or whatever, which I think is cool. But anyway, moving on.
Overreaction weekend. I think we have a new graphic made for this, don't we?
I don't even. Yeah, we do. Did I send it to you? I thought
Yeah, I
I
think
did.
you sent it to me. I think I just didn't save it. But anyway, overreaction Monday. It's not even the weekend anymore, so it wouldn't have mattered, would it? But anyway, and I don't think it changed with me. Actually, did it change on yours? Okay, there it is. I don't know. It was being weird. I had to click it twice. It was on my screen, but it wasn't changing. But anyway, overreaction. Friday, Monday, weekend. Friday, Monday. I'm gonna start out. I got two from kind of the events this weekend, and two from other related things.
Okay.
I'm gonna start off with and this was actually a quote I saw in an article from a I think former wrestler, if I'm not mistaken. And it says wrestling needs TNA. I don't think I've heard these words in a long time. I think everybody's so negative about TNA that nobody, that no one would even say these words anymore because, God forbid. I definitely think this is not an overreaction. I think, let's be honest, and we say this all the time, wrestling needs pretty much everything right now. I think wrestling right now is at a really good point. I think some people don't really like where it is. Some people think it's kind of um, not in the best of spots, and the ratings aren't that great and all this. But like, it's I think it's kind of really a good time to be a wrestling fan. You got so many choices. And if you like WWE, you like WWE. If you like the Indies, you like the Indies. If you like both, more power to you. Uh, and I feel like that kind of comes down to this statement where it's I think wrestling does need TNA. I think, but I mean, I'm guessing TNA is being like the second mainstream company in America, I guess you could say, um, along with Ring of Honor as well. I think, yeah, wrestling does need these other companies, especially these companies that are on your TV screen every week too, because you need to have a choice to what you want to watch. You might not like WWE. TNA just might be your thing. I mean, that's how Rabbit is. Rabbit doesn't like WWE, but he doesn't want like Ring of Honor, but he loves TNA. And I always feel like to each his own. You can it's that's the wonderful thing about wrestling. You can watch whatever you want and you enjoy whatever you want. So KC, wrestling needs TNA. Overreaction or not an overreaction?
I agree. I agree. Wrestling does need Test and Albert. Rip Test.
True.
Is that's the one we're talking about, right? That TNA is that
right?
But no, I definitely agree. And correction, Rabbit doesn't like TNA. He likes the Beast, the Monster.
Oh.
That's
I
it.
thought it was Scott Steiner.
It's Scott Steiner. Yeah, I definitely agree. And if you think about it, for all the crap that fans give TNA, Impact, whatever, I feel like in the past 15, 16 years, whatever, they've made the most impact on professional wrestling.
Get it? Sorry.
With all the talent that has basically come from TNA and now is in WWE, all the, new match ideas they've come out with, all of the, they're not afraid to, try new things
try new things and even fail at new things.
Yeah. Whereas like other companies like WWE, oh no, we let's not try anything new. And like, maybe they'll try one new thing every like couple of years or whatever. But TNA is not afraid to try something new. They're not afraid to, try these business endeavors. And if it fails, okay, they're going to try something new. So yeah, I definitely think, and like you said, even if it's not just TNA we're talking about, I think wrestling does need that second big company. Whether it's TNA, whether it's New Japan, whether it's AAA or CMLL, whatever, it needs that. You need that other option with whatever you're talking about.
Kind of whatever your alternative option is.
Yeah.
Because
it goes to everything. Like, Coke needs Pepsi. Pepsi needs Coke. It's everything.
Mountain Dew Meliella? No. Meliella is terrible. It's hard. Sorry. It's the worst. Sprite needs Sierra Mist. They're both terrible. Stop it. Just stop it.
Orange soda needs other brand orange soda. Same thing.
They all taste the same. Stop it. All right, my next one is the U-Pornplex is why wrestling can't be taken seriously, darn it. This is what's wrong with people. This is why people don't take wrestling seriously. They don't like it no more. They don't want, bro, it's the same stuff y'all loved in the, I'm just saying. Okay, first off, This is an overreaction to me personally. Um, I think, like I was just about to say, I feel like this particular maneuver that has really taken the world by storm. I feel like um, this particular. I actually saw him doing this on a show or something. It was or a commercial or something. I saw it somewhere other than wrestling, and it was kind of funny. Um, but it might have been just like a little internet show or something. But it was still kind of cool. But like I feel like this is the same stuff that people loved in the Attitude Era that people will complain about and criticize now. I remember when he first came out with it, like people hated it, and I'm like, but I'm like, it goes with his character. Like that's his character. His character is this sleazy, sleazy type of a guy. Like this is the type of move that like Val Venus would have done if they would have thought of it. Like you think about it, an Attitude Era with Val Venus. Like if they would have thought about this particular move, they would have had him do it. But anyway, yeah, I definitely think this is an overreaction. I think wrestling isn't taken seriously because of some of the serious things within it. To be honest, like some of the promos and stuff like that, and I think sometimes it's just the mindsets. It's just the mindsets of I guess non-fans now. Like I think people who aren't fans just have that mindset that they're gonna hate wrestling. That's just how it is. Like my goodness, you can't even sit down in a public venue and watch wrestling like you would watch anything else without somebody looking at you. But then again, I think to me, man, you just kind of gotta just not worry about it. And basically just kind of do your own thing. If you want to watch wrestling in public, do it. Crank that volume, baby. Crank that anyway. Uh, Casey, the Upornplex is why wrestling cannot be taken seriously.
Oh my gosh. Overreaction. When it breaks down to it, and I was one of the ones that fought this for so long that I used to say, it's professional wrestling, it's not sports entertainment. I didn't like that people always used sports entertainment as how they would describe it, but it really is. It's sports entertainment. It's supposed to be fun. Professional wrestling is supposed to be fun. People take it way too seriously. And I mean, we're guilty of it too. Me and DJ, there's certain things in professional wrestling we take too seriously. But at the end of the day, just have fun watching it. If you see something ridiculous, go with it. Have fun with it. Make fun of it. Laugh at it. Whatever. People just, I don't, I mean, and we've talked about how wrestling is just a special genre where people either take it too seriously or just hate it. And like, I don't, there's no, it's so hard for fans to just be in the middle and just enjoy things, I feel like, in wrestling. But so, yeah, I'm going to overreaction. People just need to have fun with it and just enjoy wrestling. Enjoy all kinds of wrestling. Enjoy the comedy segments. Enjoy the comedy matches. Enjoy the serious matches. Enjoy the, hardcore matches. Just enjoy wrestling. Have fun with it.
I definitely agree.
I am
Moving
done.
on to our third one. Let's see, which one do I want to use? Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. Wrestling of today would be easier to book than something of the Attitude Era. So basically, what I'm saying is it's easier to book the wrestling we see right now or the wrestling we see on the indies in a mainstream aspect than it would be to book basically something like the Attitude Era that's wild and outlandish. I feel like Casey's gonna say it could go either way, but anyway, I'm gonna go with this is not an overreaction because I think it is easier to book the wrestling of today, to book the wrestling like it is, than it would be the Attitude Era. I think the Attitude Era is a once in a lifetime thing that's going to be hard to replicate. And really, I think it's going to be hard to get people into something like that again. we said it before, we say it many times. I think you look back at the Attitude Era and some of the stuff you're just like, I really enjoyed that when I was a kid or when I was younger or whatever, or you're kind of like, I really enjoyed that. The wrestling wasn't as good. The guys weren't as athletic. We weren't seeing as many dives. Um, we were seeing all this goofy stuff that we would kill. We'll bash on Twitter today, and I think that's kind of how it is. I think we enjoy wrestling more now. I think sometimes we fail to admit it. I think we fail to admit it sometimes that we really enjoy it. But Casey, if I can find the actual statement again, wrestling of today would be easier to book than something of the Attitude Era.
So what we're saying is an Attitude Era style,
Yeah,
booked today,
yeah.
or an Attitude Era style booked in the Attitude Era. Because in
No,
the Attitude Era, all you had to do was put like women in bikinis in every segment, and you would have been fine. I'm just
I'm
saying.
saying the Attitude Era of today, the Attitude Era book today.
You couldn't do it.
I think like as far as like if somebody was like, oh man, the Attitude Era obviously is the greatest era of all time. We're gonna book our company like the Attitude Era.
Can't do it. Nope. I mean, at the time, yeah, and I think it's just nostalgia because it's what we kind of grew up on. But you could not book like that today. You just couldn't do it. The fans have evolved. The product itself has evolved to, we're realizing what good wrestling is, and you can't you can't do what they did in the Attitude Era now. I mean, it just wouldn't be possible. So I don't even remember what the quote was, but you can't do it. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Last one before we get to next week's hype, bro. Kurt Angle should not have been the third member of the Shield, darn it. Not for one match. He should have been saved for WrestleMania. Blah 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 blah. I think this is an overreaction. I think you got to remember that WWE was booking with their hands tied behind their backs. Now, don't get me wrong. From a logical standpoint, where you're like, this doesn't make any sense, I can understand what you're saying. But I think from a standpoint of booking this to get more people to watch / make this pay-per-view still worth it, if you're a huge Roman Reigns fan like me, that's kind of, I think you got to do what you got to do. And this was kind of, I guess, what they had to do. So, yeah, I'm going with this is an overreaction. I think these have all been overreactions, except for one. But I think I'm going with this is an overreaction because I think he should have been the third member. I think it was fine for one night only, him being that third member. And then they're gonna keep playing that one night only aspect until like he comes out again. But like I said last night in the review, I do feel like I missed him in the singlet. I did. I was like, what a singlet at though? What a fireworks at though? What a you suck chance at though? Even though he did come back out, but still to the use up chance. So I guess I got that one. But anyway, Casey, Kurt Angle should not have been the third member of the Shield ever in life. No, boo, boo. They should have just replaced him with somebody stupid or not replaced him at all because the Shield is the greatest.
This is hard because while I will agree that the match was great with Kurt Angle, I will say though that I don't think this is an overreaction. Just because, yes, it was great that Kurt Angle was in the match and it was cool, but so many baby faces roster that you could have replaced him with that don't get enough TV time or matches, and there's so many people that have had history with the Miz that you could have put in Roman Reigns' place and still have an awesome match. So I think there's a lot of other guys that they could have put in that. You could have put Matt Hardy there. I'm just looking through the Raw roster right now, just see all these people. You could even bring somebody up for a one night only match from NXT, like Johnny Gargano. You could have brought him up, or I'm trying to think. Aleister Black, you could have brought him up. There's a bunch of guys that would have been cool to have in that spot, other than Kurt Angle. But like I said, it was still great to see him. I just think they could have done other things. There were other options, I think. Bo Dallas got that thing. Never mind.
Got the thing.
I mean, the Big Show, they could have done that.
They could have. Yeah.
Oscar, they could have done that.
True.
Apollo.
Are we ready for next week's hype?
Apollo.
They could have just bought the whole Titus brand, Titus International worldwide.
Yeah. Yeah, we ready for that. Next week hype, bro.
Did not change.
It
or am I doing next week's hype, bro?
I mean, what
okay.
Okay,
I don't think we hype for
next week's hype, bro, is the wrestles. The
hashtag WWE do better, because we should be hyped for something.
The suplexes. Yeah.
I think we're kind of, since we haven't. I think technically we're kind of hyped by the same stuff, because we really haven't watched enough to really see any of the stuff that we wanted to see last week, which was the Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black stuff and Sami Zayn's development. I think I don't know if we watched enough to really be like, you know what? We got a chance to see what we wanted to see.
Yeah. And you brought up a little segue there for me. When you said WWE do it better, that brings up a discussion that we're gonna have about WWE focusing on things that they shouldn't be focusing on, like cease and desist, when they should focus on their own company and making the product better. I'm just saying that maybe fans would stop complaining about how WWE sucks and yeah, I'm just saying. But we're gonna have a discussion about that. So I'm hyped for that discussion coming up.
True. I'm hyped for season 2 of the Instant Classic Wrestling podcast. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm hyped for Impact rebranding again.
True. I'm hyped for whatever Eli Drake's promo is gonna be. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. He's one of those guys you just have to listen to. You just have to. Like you hear him talking, you're like, huh? What do you say?
I'm not hyped that we're not going to see the Owl anymore. I'm not hyped about that.
Well, we might still see the Owl. That's Anthem's Owl, not GFW's Owl.
I mean, true.
We can still. They might, officially go to Owl Championship Wrestling. I mean, that's been the name for a while, but they just ain't officially, let it out there yet.
You're right. You're right about that. Yeah.
But anyway, that was your Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, episode 10, season finale. Season 2 coming soon. It won't be like season 2 of Who Do You Sign, we promise. But
remember when we said that about Who Do You Sign?
It won't be. We promise. We promise. But anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to give us a like if you did enjoy it, so we know you enjoyed it. Because if we don't know you enjoyed it, then we won't know you enjoyed it. But anyway, give us any thoughts on any of the segments we had tonight. Any thoughts on the previous week in wrestling? Was it good to you? Was it bad to you? Did you watch anything that was cool? Did you go to a local indie show? Was it great? Was it awesome? Let us know on Twitter at ICW_podcast or in the description section below.
You mean the comment section? You said that again.
That's what I meant, but it didn't come out that way. The comment section below, I should say. I mean, if you get to the description section, like, we probably need to change our password. I'm just saying. But we'll see you guys next time. We do hope you guys enjoyed. This was your season finale, formerly known as episode 10 of the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. The only podcast that is always, and I mean always, an instant